Hey Christine, so I've looked over your lesson plans and here's some feedback for you. These in general are really well done. I'm very impressed with the depth of direction that you went into and with the differentiation and modification, having some guided note handouts. Those are really, really nice touches, okay? So let's go, into some specifics here. Throughout your entire lesson plan set, I really liked the alignment between your students will understand and your students will be able to section. That you always have, that they're doing this, they're generating ideas, and then they're going to understand how that applies to something. And I felt like you consistently did a great job in that little section right there through all of your lesson plans. Okay. Your learning activities. So this hook right here was the tiniest bit rough with transitions, but I felt like once you got going into your lesson plan, your transitions were really well done. I liked your board equals paper technique, and I like that there's a really nice balance between the amount of time you're talking and the amount of time your students are talking too. I also like that you anticipated so many student answers. Hold on, let me scroll. Because even if your students don't come up with these answers, these are the things you want to be guiding them towards. And so that'll be really helpful. Again, really like the differentiation with some of the guided notes over here. Okay. All right. Very specific direct instruction on how to do their pre-planning, and that was a very nice job. And very specific instruction on how their, I said pre-planning, which was ridiculous because that's just redundant. Very specific instructions on their planning, and I really like that. And I really liked how you specifically did a good job at linking their planning and what they were doing directly to their novels so that there's no confusion as the kids are moving through this part. Very well done there. Okay. All right, okay. Gave them some time to write in class, had them finish up, and that is also a very nice touch too, so that that every kid can get a chance to at least start in the right direction, so that when they go home, they're just extending that practice to home. They're not trying something brand new at home. All right, so let's get into your next lesson plan. Guided notes. Yep, like those. Okay. So again, in this lesson plan, I really like the alignment between your students will be able to and your students will understand. Nicely done. I forgot to mention up top that I like that your essential global questions carry throughout the unit and then your content questions changed based on these here. I mean, Christine, your alignment with all of this stuff is so well done, and it shows me some really good development, like that you're thinking about how to align these pieces and therefore thinking about how to walk the students through these pieces so much better. Really, I'm quite thrilled with it. It's great. Okay. All right, so nice formative summative assessment. Okay, so quick check-in. I think it's hilarious, nice little use of humor here that you're going to talk about food, but that you're going to, it's the picture of the hamburger. That's good. Okay, so walking them through the metaphor, right? So how is my writing like a good burger? Because I have to have strengths here and like the bun has to taste good, and so that has to be a strength, things like that. The one slip that I noticed in here, because it's a very well done metaphor and it's a very nice graphic organizer. Here's the part that I wonder, especially with some of our more reluctant writers, those kids who are just like, I'm not good at this. Having the criteria in here, I think would be really helpful. Let me show you a specific place where I think you could do that. Okay, what happens if the body or toppings of our writing isn't any good? People will want to throw it away and not keep reading. Exactly. So this is where we have to really plan our thoughts. We have to have something interesting to say that keeps the reader wanting to know more. Now, right here, take this, okay? Give it some specific criteria. What does that mean? We have to have something interesting to say that keeps the reader wanting to know more. That's very abstract. It's very subjective. So there's a couple things you could do to make this much more concrete for kids. Talking to them about audience adaptation. Who is your reader going to be? Talking to them about I don't know, fluency techniques, talking to them about word choice. There are a lot of really concrete components of writing that I think that you could put in there in lieu of saying something interesting. And that'll really help some of your students who are more reluctant writers to have something concrete to grab onto. Remember that piece that I was talking about? Every time we do something abstract, which is what you're doing here, and it's not bad, it's I don't know if you can hear Harper in the background. It just started snowing and she's mad because she thought it was going to be rain. So you've got a very well done, albeit abstract metaphor, right? Writing into, this hamburger idea. So you remember you've got to ground that abstract as quickly as possible in something concrete. So go through, some of those specifics in writing style that could really help your kids. Yes, dear. Now she's whining. She doesn't like snow. Okay, so hope that makes sense, right? Anytime you have abstract, ground it in the concrete, okay? So let's, moving on to your topic sentence here. You're right. So, what is your first layer going to be about? The first point. Pick out the first thing you started writing when you were brainstorming. This should be a general statement. Now, brainstorming isn't about order of ideas, right? Because maybe my first idea wasn't my best one. I was just getting warmed up. Maybe my, third idea was my best one. So maybe you don't want to pick out the first thing you started when you're writing. Maybe you want to pick out your most important point when you were writing, when you were brainstorming, and that's going to be the thing that ends up being your topic sentence, okay? And then the third and second layers, what are the reasons that was very important, okay? So not chronology of writing as much as importance of writing and importance of ideas that were brainstormed, okay? Again, really liking your differentiation over here. Okay. Small group practice, that's good. I liked that. Good journal for reflection. Good handout. Okay. This is the one where you tripped me up a little bit. Still, you have some very solid points in here. All right. Again, very nice job on keeping that essential global question, but making your essential content area question unique to the lesson plan, and very nice alignment between these two pieces and your essential questions. Okay. Here's what threw me for a loop. So, okay, we're going to be looking at revising, and we're going to be using peers to help us revise our ideas. Excellent. Now, you have them doing this handout guideline sheet, which I looked at below. It's just like, circle words if you think they're spelled wrong. It's not your job to fix them, but, things like that, okay? You have them peer reviewing each other's brainstorming and outlining. And yet, the thing with brainstorming is don't worry about the mechanics of writing. The idea is to get the ideas out on paper. That was redundant also, wasn't it? The goal is to get the ideas out on paper. So I'm not real sure what the goal is between having someone peer edit in this particular fashion, my brainstorming. So look at right here. Look at the word essay. After reading their brainstorm and outline, go back to the beginning of both and reread them. Circle or highlighting any misspellings, punctuation errors, and obvious problems. Okay, my brainstorm and my outline is going to have a ton of those. But then look at this in the essay. It's like you skipped a step. You needed to have them complete their draft before they go on to peer editing. Or you need to revise this peer editing and make this sheet very specific to the number and the quality of ideas and kick this editing part. Okay, are you seeing what I mean? So right here, okay, you've got pluses and minuses, but no criteria for those, right? You say, don't say, this sentence sucked. Be creative with your compliments. Saying things like the font is clear and easy to read assumes that they have already typed a rough draft, and I don't know that helps me out a lot. It's inconsistent in your lesson plan, okay? You have way to go putting your essay on white paper. Actually not really sure what that meant at all. I like your point of view. It makes me think. See, this is an idea feedback piece, not an editing feedback piece. Okay. So I hope this is making sense to you, how you skipped having them do a draft and you went right from like a pre-writing strategy, idea generation and outlining, into a revision strategy, and you skip the actual have them write piece. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So in general, to wrap up my comments, I felt like your first lesson plan was like amazing and solid. I felt like your second one was just a step below amazing and solid, and then our third one, I don't think it was a bad lesson plan. I think it's that you missed a step. I feel like you went step 1, 2, 4 instead of step 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so watch that kind of flow, thinking through an entire writing unit. All right, but honestly, Christine, lots of improvement. I really like what I'm seeing. Thank you.